Apparently, you can kill thousands upon thousands of people and not only not go to jail, but have a nice cushy fucking nest egg retirement for your fucking murderous family in the process. Look around you. We are a country of addicts, stimulating our dopamine any possible way. And one of the biggest problems we're facing in our time is the opioid crisis. Apparently, you can go to your drug dealing fucking doctor and get all the drugs you need. You don't need street drugs. You got the fucking drugs in the pharmaceutical industry. They'll take care of you. They've got your pain. And they are killing us in massive amounts. They could be blamed for the homeless crisis. They could be blamed for drug addiction getting out of control. People just wigging out all over the fucking streets. And not to mention the hundreds of thousands of opioid deaths that have happened as a result of you being able to go to your doctor. Oh, I'm in pain. Oh, my shit hurts. Oh, here, well, we have this fentanyl. Here's some fentanyl for you. Or some OxyContin. Or any of these other opioid drugs to treat your pain. And I broke my leg once, and I'm aware of the effects of this, and I was very leery. Like, I had to be in a lot of pain to have me take these pills, and even then I still was very low dose, and I did not want to get into this addiction that is killing so many Americans nowadays. It's out of control. You can doctor shop and get these pills. You can get them on the streets too, because they're so prevalent that people have prescriptions that they get just like that, and they go out and then they sell those pills on the street for a huge markup. It's horrible. It is destroying us. And while we are waking up to the fact that this is going on, we are not doing enough to prevent this from happening again. So some big news has come out. Purdue Pharma, which is a company largely behind this epidemic, is filing for bankruptcy to pay off their debts. So I wanted to go through that today and find out, are we doing enough to protect us from the pharmaceutical industry getting out of control yet again, killing thousands of us, and then everybody involved walks away scot-free with some of the money that they made in their pocket still? That's what I want to see. I'm hoping when I look at this that A, somebody went to jail, and B, somebody went broke. Like completely broke. Not retiring in a nice fucking cushy job or house or whatever. No. You killed thousands of people, motherfuckers. You should go to jail for that. That's murder. When a pharmaceutical company murders people, they should be criminally held accountable. And I'm hoping we're starting to do that. I'm hoping. Let's see. Let's see how it goes. So this article comes from the BBC, which says Purdue Pharma files bankruptcy in the U.S. Oh, yay. That's about time we punish them motherfuckers. They're the company largely behind this crisis. Not that I'm thinking that they're the only ones, but they're a big one. And they've made billions of dollars, over $10 billion, off of our addiction for pain. It's overprescribed. It's easy to get. If I wanted this shit, I could go get it right now. Guaranteed. Now, it might be getting a little harder as they're cracking down here and there, but it's still, there's enough of it out there that it's a problem. And it's a problem here in Syracuse. It's a problem all over the country. And some of the worst cities with the homeless crisis are riddled with this problem. And I would argue that homelessness would be a lot less prevalent if not for these addictions. U.S. drug maker Purdue Pharma has filed for bankruptcy protection as part of its effort to deal with thousands of lawsuits that accuse the firm of fueling the U.S. opioid crisis. So, okay, we're suing them. Is that the only way to deal with this? Is that the only check we have on these pharmaceutical companies running rampant over our health and wellness and killing us? So many of them are doing this with all kinds of different shit. It's not even just this, but this is yet another example of the corruption and the problem with the system the way it is now. It isn't set up to protect us. No, quite the opposite. We are just guinea pigs for the latest and greatest drug in which we give all of our fucking money and get death in return. This is not cool. I mean, they need to fucking stop this shit. The company's board approved a Chapter 11 filing on Sunday. Well, that's great. You're going to fuck us over, and now that you have all these debts, largely based on losing court case after court case, you're going to file bankruptcy and therefore not have to pay every motherfucker that has a claim against your company. Because clearly, those claims are going to outweigh the net worth of your company. Okay, so yeah, you should be going broke, right? If you file bankruptcy, it's Chapter 11, which means you're not going completely broke because you're promising to pay some of the debt. But you better not walk out of this bankruptcy with any wealth whatsoever, particularly the Sackler family, who started Purdue, owns Purdue, and is responsible for this epidemic. They should be in fucking jail, broke, both. That's my opinion. Take it or leave it, but that is my opinion on what should happen to them. But let's see what's really happening to them. Last week, the firm reached a tentative deal to settle most of the lawsuits. It's a settlement. That means they had to come to an agreement to avoid a full loss. Purdue reached the agreement to settle opioid cases. Sackler family funneled cash into Swiss banks. So yeah, they're hiding their money. Just like they're allowed to. Wouldn't be able to do that if they went to fucking jail, would they? So they're going to walk out of this just fine. And probably go work for some other or start another company. With perhaps a different name. Same people. Because, trust me, when a family does this like this, when a group of people do this, they're not going to stop if you allow them to continue. They're not just going to go retire on some island somewhere. They'll start another company or they'll invest in another company and gain control of that. And run the same playbook to build more money and power in the industry. Purdue had been facing legal action from thousands of cities and countries across the U.S. The lawsuits claim that Purdue and its owners, the billionaire Sackler family, had aggressively marketed prescription painkiller OxyContin while at the same time misleading doctors and patients over addiction and overdose risks. How many times you turn on the fucking TV, for those of you that still do that, and seen pharmaceutical commercials? I think that should be fucking outlawed. I should not know shit about a single drug through a fucking advertisement. All right? News stories, health stories, that kind of stuff. Scientific studies, yes. Commercials on TV that kids watch, probably not so much. The drug maker has reached a deal with 24 states and 5 U.S. territories, but another 24 states remain opposed to the proposed settlement. Well, they should be. I would not settle for anything less than jail time for the Sackler family and any corporate board members that were involved in this scheme, and a complete confiscation of all of the wealth accumulated from this opioid practice. Is in every fucking dime they made needs to come out to the victims of this crime. And this, my friends, is a fucking crime. You don't kill thousands of people with poison and have it not be a crime. The drug maker has reached... Okay, I already read that part. In statement reported by Reuters, members of the Sackler family said it is our hope the bankruptcy reorganization process that is now underway will end our ownership of Purdue and ensure that its assets are dedicated for the public benefit. Well, where the fuck was your worrying about the public benefit before you did this shit? Really? Terms of the deal. Chapter 11, a section of the U.S. Bankruptcy Code, postpones a U.S. company's obligations to its creditors, which means you're not paying motherfuckers, giving it time to reorganize its debts and sell parts of the business. So they're going to sell the business. They're going to pay their debts through that sale. And then they're going to walk away and retire on some fucking island somewhere, because they have enough fucking money to do so. Under terms of the deal, Purdue is to be dissolved, and the money raised estimated to be around 10 to 12 billion, including a minimum cash contribution of 3 billion from the Sackler family, which I believe they are worth more than that, way more than that. Will go towards settling lawsuits. The Sacklers have also offered an additional 1.5 billion from the eventual sale of Purdue Pharma, another pharmaceutical firm owned by the family. So these are pharmaceutical giants. They own multiple pharmaceutical companies and are going to walk away scot-free. And they're getting away. This other company, I don't know how they're involved with this Purdue Pharma. But I'm willing to bet there's a lot of shadiness going on there too. Several of the states opposed the deal, such as New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, have questioned how Purdue came up with the contribution figure. They need to contribute every last fucking dime. I want them standing on the fucking side of the road with a fucking sign says, former drug fucking company looking for work. We'll work for food. That's what they need to experience, like the hundreds of thousands of motherfuckers that they put in that same position. They need to go out there and feel what it's like to be out there with your life destroyed by a fucking chemical substance designed to addict the shit out of you that you forced upon the American people because they were in pain and you had the answer to their pain. Meanwhile, when I took the shit, I was still in fucking pain. I was just in slightly less pain. Didn't cure my pain. I was still in fucking pain and it sucked. The New York Attorney General's office has requested records from 33 financial institutions. However, it found $1 billion in wire transfers in records just from one of the 33 institutions. So the Sackler family saw the writing on the wall, took their money, and hid it. That's why they need to go to jail. Among the countless amount of collateral deaths from this crisis, they should serve time. Period. Criminal penalties is the only thing I see stopping this constant cycle of pharmaceutical companies selling drugs that are bad for us, killing hundreds of thousands of us, and then walking away with maybe a fine. You know, that's like treating murder like a parking ticket. So what is the opioid crisis, if you happen to not know? Opioids are a group of drugs that range from codeine to illegal drugs, such as heroin. Prescription opioids are primarily used for pain relief, but can be highly addictive. You think? An average of 130 Americans die from an opioid overdose every day, according to the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention, which says that more than 200,000 Americans have died from opioid-related overdoses in the last 2 fucking decades. And the Sackler family's hiding the fucking billions in the fucking foreign bank accounts, and they're going to walk away from this with the worst case scenario being that one of the companies they own is going under. One of the companies that gave him that $1 billion to hide. And, it's self-explanatory what it's done to us. You can look around the shitty part of any city and you see that this is where it's at. It's a big problem here. There's overdoses here. There's overdoses all over the country. There's lives destroyed. Even if you don't overdose, your life is going to be completely consumed by it. It is bad shit. And they should pay an appropriate penalty. The fucking punishment should fit the crime. 200,000 deaths. And millions of lives ruined. But we're just going to take some money. Not all of the money, just some of it. How are we allowing this to happen? How is this legal? Because all this does is set up a profit cycle. They're already budgeting into the price of these drugs, the lawsuits, and how much it's going to cost them in court. And they walk away with profit almost every time. This family will still be billionaires when this is over with. And if that's not injustice, I don't know what it is. I don't know that there's any worse injustice than killing 200,000 people, destroying millions of lives, and still walking away as a billionaire on some fucking island doing fucking important island shit. Yeah. And when you should be in an orange suit wondering if you're going to get your ass jumped and when you go down to the fucking shower. That's what should happen. Or at the very least be broke enough to stand on the side of the road and say, hey, look, we fucked up. We killed 200,000 people. Will you please not let us die here on the side of the road where so many people are sent because of their addiction to our drugs? Fatal drug overdose numbers rose every year from 1999 to 2017, including a sharp spike between 2014 and 2017, according to the CDC. Experts partially blame the overprescription of powerful, addictive painkillers for the epidemic. They sold and oversold and encouraged it to all of us, all of our doctors, and if you were in, all you had to do was go in and say you're in pain, chronic pain, I feel bad, and they give you the drug, and then you're addicted to the drug, and then you're going to do everything in your power to get that drug. And guess what? When it stops, when you can't get that drug, when they say, nope, you're addicted, you can't have this shit anymore, that's when you end up out on the street going for heroin and fentanyl and ended up in a pile of your own fucking vomit, overdosed on the sidewalk next to where you just took a shit earlier, next to your 10 on the street, and then they just figure you're homeless, so they sweep your ass up and, and there's another homeless addict gone. But all of those people had lives before this. And it should not have been this way. You don't push an addictive substance on people. There's plenty of other ways to mitigate pain. You definitely don't send the pill bottle home with people who are going to do dumb shit with it. If you're in severe pain, you should have to go in and get it administered on a case-by-case basis. And I bet you that would have cut it in half. And you don't give it to them often enough for people to get addicted. You have to come up with alternatives. That's it. But alternatives aren't profitable, are they? No. What's profitable is you being addicted and going back to your doctor and going, hey, I'm still in pain. I need more pills. I'm still in pain. I'm hurting. Give me some more pills, more pills, more pills. That's what's profitable. And that's why these motherfuckers are billionaires. And still will be, despite 200,000 deaths. So what else have we got here? What else is being said about the Sackler family right now? Sackler family funneled $1 billion into different bank accounts. Look at that. The billionaire Sackler family funneled at least £1.8 billion to different bank accounts, including accounts in Switzerland. The Sackler owned Purdue Pharma, which is accused of fueling the U.S. opioid crisis. Purdue is currently facing, okay, we got that. Forbes estimated the Sacklers are worth $13 billion. And the settlement was what? What was the settlement? So of their $13 billion wealth, they are giving back $3 billion. So that's fair, right? $13 billion to $3 billion. That seems like justice for 200,000 deaths, you think? New York State Attorney General Letitia James said she requested records from 33 financial institutions. However, $1 billion in wire transfers were revealed in records for just one institution. And I'm willing to bet they hit a hell of a lot more than $1 billion. So they're getting away with it. They're getting away with it, with murder. Legit. And then people wonder why I get so fucking pissed off at the pharmaceutical industry. Because this is not a single incident situation. This has happened across multiple drugs, multiple companies in the pharmaceutical industry. And it's about time that there were civil and criminal penalties for these crimes. These are crimes against humanity, and they need to be punished properly. And it needs to send a stiff message to these companies that they are not above the law, that they will not continue to do this practice of pushing drugs upon the American people, or the world for that matter, and not be accountable for when they kill us. This would force them to do stronger research. This would force them not to market as heavily, not to give us things that are going to cause these kinds of problems, and then, clearly force them to not have it in a budget to cover their lawsuits and legal expenses in advance of pricing their drug. I guarantee you they priced this into their drugs, and that the insurance companies took it up, and then you wonder why insurance is shit for medical insurance. Not to mention the out-of-pocket costs to everyone. And this is all factored in there. So they're going to take 10 of their 13 billion, hide it away in all these fucking bank accounts, and then they're back to normal. Yeah, it's great. So I guess what I'm trying to say here is we really need some change, some reform on how we deal with pharmaceutical industries and other industries such as Monsanto and all of these motherfucking companies that are getting away with robbing us of our health, forcing us down addictive paths with their shitty drugs, and causing havoc, mayhem, and destruction in almost every form that you can think of, from cradle to the grave. We need something to dissuade these companies from doing this shit. Because as long as it stays the way it is, the profit model is going to keep this kind of fucking behavior going, and it's not going to get any better. The reason this happened is because of this company, and in my opinion, because of the Sackler family in general, pushing it to go on this way. Not to mention everybody who was complicit within the company, who was just going to be out of a job and go over to the next pharmaceutical company and follow the same fucking playbook. There needs to be stiffer penalties on this. But what the fuck do I know anyway? Because I'm not a fucking expert. I'm just a fucking asshole. Please like and subscribe for more shit, and I'll make more shit. It's a pretty heavy-duty week. I'm making lots of shit this week. And shit. If you liked this video and you found it enlightening, or you just got triggered, or you too believe that these motherfuckers should pay, head to ScottTheTruckDriver.com and leave a tip in the virtual fucking tip jar. And while you're there, head down to the bottom of the page and subscribe to my email list so that you are aware of all the times I go live, of whenever I do a video, whenever I post something. For the most part, will be notified through that email, along with direct links within the email to all the replays, all the videos, and also access to the subscriber lounge where you have downloadable content, including podcasts, including numerous other things. And just so you know, I plan on taking all of my podcasts that I've done last year, the audio ones, the ones that I was selling for $5 a piece, they will be available in the subscriber lounge by the end of the year. So look forward to that. So sign up now, and the password will change once I add all of those. So you'll have to keep up with the emails. Each email has the current password to the subscriber lounge in it, and it will change from time to time. So keep up them email subscriptions if you want to stay informed and to get some exclusive content that I can't even fucking put on YouTube, some of it. Also, follow me on DLive if you want to participate in the live streams. And I'll make more of those and do more of those. You guys have been really supportive. Thanks once again for getting me to 10,000 subscribers, and we're going to keep this truck a-rolling for now. Have a nice motherfucking day. And shit. Send them motherfuckers to jail. They belong in fucking jail, not in some fucking Caribbean island in a fucking mansion with billions of dollars in a Swiss bank account somewhere, living the fucking high life, saying, look, well, we had a good run, now we get to retire in fucking peace. Or worse yet, run their 10 other fucking pharmaceutical companies. I want all of their companies to go under, to be honest with you. You know, this too big to fail bullshit, not for these motherfuckers. And put them in jail. They should be in fucking orange jumpsuits, not on the beach sipping fucking wine and shit. Fuckers.